Welcome to Tapa General. Let's go straight to the point. What exactly Ramaphosa promised former apartheid racist President F.W. de Klerk? I will tell you what I think he promised de Klerk. I think he promised de Klerk to collapse South Africa. I believe Cyril promised to privatize important things that are owned by South Africa to his masters. Things like Eskom, mines, land, and businesses, and many more. Let's quickly listen to what John Kloppe said about South Africa and the state of South Africa. What are the solutions?
Thank you very much, DP. Welcome to all of you members of the media. Thank you so much. Mine is to read the Progressive Caucus Charter. A commitment statement. We, representatives of the oppressed, declare that we shall unite in strengthening opposition in the Parliament of South Africa to achieve equality, total decolonization, and economic freedom for all. We note that the 2024 national and provincial elections outcome resulted in the formation of a reactionary coalition government that seeks to preserve the current power of white monopoly capital in the economy, give advantage to white privilege, and undo the gains of the liberation movement. This coalition, claiming to be a government of national unity, is a design of white monopoly capital whose objective is to mask the class and race contradictions exposed by the 2024 electoral outcomes. It seeks to foreclose the possibility of the unity of all progressive forces to form a progressive government that will institute a meaningful transformation of the South African economy and society as a whole. The 2024 elections were a target of big capital and imperialist forces who sought to undermine the will of the people. They used money to propel liberal and neo-colonial political party outfits who united in the form of moonshot coalition, clearly setting themselves against liberation movement associated formations. Upon electoral defeat, the capitalist establishment realized the liberation movement forces constitute 70% majority. Instead of continuing with its Moonlight Project, which had instigated class divisions, it now advocated for the unity of all in order to mask and contain the obvious explosion against its domination. This accounts for the birth of the GNU, which does not represent the unity of the oppressed, but an empty elite coalition of predominantly liberal and neo-colonial parties. 30 years into our so-called democracy, South Africa teeters on the edge of reckoning. Economic power is still monopolized by the ruling elite, while the masses are suffocated by relentless socio-economic oppression. The vast majority are landless, denied educational opportunities, and shackled by the chains of apartheid's enduring legacy. In this urgent and volatile landscape, the Progressive Caucus emerges, resolute in our mission to dismantle the status quo and blaze a revolutionary path towards true justice and equality. We, the Progressive Caucus, representing 102 seats in the National Assembly, bring together Umkhonto weSizwe Party, MK Party, the Economic Freedom Fighters, EFF, the African Transformation Movement, ATM, the National Colored Congress, NCC, and the United African Transformation, UAT, to oppose the elite pact masquerading as national unity. We pledge to remain faithful to the true aspirations of the oppressed on transformation of colonial patterns of ownership, achieving equality, justice, and total economic freedom. Accordingly, 1, we shall fight for expropriation of land without compensation for equitable redistribution. 2, we shall fight for nationalization of the commanding heights of the economy, in particular the banks and mines. 3, we shall strengthen our democracy by ensuring that the government and all captains of the ruling class are held accountable to achieve a corrupt-free society. 4, we shall fight for decolonization of legal and cultural apparatuses in society as a whole, with emphasis on an Afrocentric philosophy of law. 5, we shall fight for free quality education, health care, housing, water, and sanitation. 6, we shall fight for the industrial development of the African economy, attainment of peace and stability in all its nations. 7, we shall defend and promote the liberation struggle legacy of progressive internationalism. B, what is to be progressive? In the current domestic and international balance of forces, to be progressive means the following. 1, anti-capitalism. All who seek an alternative to capitalism as an economic strategy and system of life, and who are in pursuit of a society anchored by the principle of collective ownership and benefit from the means of production. 2, anti-colonialism. All who oppose colonialism, the creation of racially divided society to achieve the economic, social, and spiritual exploitation of the oppressed of the world, especially as it occurred in Africa and elsewhere, beginning with the transatlantic slave trade up to the apartheid system. 3, anti-racism. All who oppose a way of life in which white people are privileged over black people in all aspects of life and perpetuate the exploitation and exclusion of black people based on the color of their skin. By black, we refer to those who were disenfranchised by the apartheid regime on the basis of their skin color. 4, anti-sexism. All who oppose the oppression of women or any person on the basis of their gender or sexuality. We shall fight for the total elimination of gender-based violence in our society. Anti-imperialist. All who oppose the domination of global capitalism and its driving countries and institutions in the world system. We shall always stand with the oppressed of the world. We reaffirm international solidarity with the people of Western Sahara, Cuba, and Palestine who remain under the yoke of imperialist domination. We shall defend the Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, commonly known as BRICS, International Forum in the interest of the transformation of the global balance of forces and in favor of global South and the oppressed on the world. 6, the rule of law. We shall promote the supremacy of the rule of law. However, we are prepared to oppose any unjust law. We shall advocate for complete decolonization of our legal framework to reflect justice, equality, and an Afrocentric legal philosophy and praxis. 7, we shall defend and promote the principle of collective bargaining. Workers' rights and freedoms shall be central to our program. 8, traditional leadership. We shall defend and promote institutions of traditional leadership and customs. In the current South African Parliament, to be progressive means a refusal to be part of the government of national unity, since it is a mere executive for the management of the common affairs of the white and neo-colonial bourgeoisie. Minimum program, we shall join unite in action to ensure that the Seventh Parliament achieves the following. 1. Revival of the amendment of the Constitution to achieve expropriation of land without compensation for equal distribution. 2. Revival of the Phala impeachment process to hold the sitting president accountable for all reported abuses of power in terms of the Constitution and the laws of this country. 3. We shall propose bills to legislate the following, among others: 1. Insourcing of security guards, cleaners, and other general workers in government departments and related entities. B. Provision of free sanitary towels for the poor. C. Nationalization of the South African Reserve Bank. D. Repeal of all apartheid laws. E. Introduction of a foreign agents bill. F. Cancelling of student debts. 4. We shall propose the following parliamentary inquiries. A. An inquiry into rand manipulation. B. Inquiry into sexual abuses of inmates in prison. And C. Conditions and remunerations of farm and domestic workers. In conclusion, although the Progressive Caucus is formed in the context of the Seventh Parliament, it will not be limited to Parliament as a forum to achieve its objectives. We shall work together to broaden our collaboration and cooperation with all progressive formations of the working class and people in general. We shall mobilize and reach out to progressive formations of workers, the landless, traditional and religious leaders, and all progressive forces outside Parliament in a united action for the total liberation of all oppressed people in our country and the world. We call upon every worker, every landless South African, every young person who has been denied opportunities, and every citizen still shackled by the chains of economic oppression to rise with us. The unity you have been yearning for is happening. We stand at the precipice of a revolutionary change, a moment that will redefine our future and dismantle the remnants of apartheid's legacies. Let us ignite the spirit of resistance in every corner of our land. Let the voices of the oppressed roar louder than ever, echoing through the halls of power and across the nation. We are not merely fighting for policy changes, we are fighting for our dignity, our future, and our very existence. This is our call to arms. We shall not rest until the land is returned to the people, until the wealth of our nation serves all its citizens, until the chains of poverty are broken, and until true equality and justice are achieved. Our struggle is just, our cause is righteous, and our determination is unwavering. Thank you very much.
Thank you.